Alright, hello everybody, good to see you all. Welcome to the stream today. We are covering the final day of the Rex April Madness Tournament, so we're going to be going through some best of 7s today. 3 best of 7s coming up. Should make this actually quite a lot of fun. Genuinely looking forward to it and thinking that we're probably going to be in for a good time. So, we're getting invited into our first match, and our first match is going to be between Hero and Rogue, which is going to be a lot of fun as well. So, it's already kind of a very fun matchup to start off on, and like I say, we'll be into that in just a few short moments as we're just loading into the lobby as we speak. I'm just going to quickly reset the stream goals for the day. Reset, I always forget to do that. Perfect. Reset those, that'll update after we have done our first game. And yeah, hello everybody, welcome. Some fun matches, I think. Hero versus Rogue, Solo versus MaxPax, a grand finals after. You know, I feel like we win no matter what, because we've got 2 ZVPs, and we either get a non-mirror match final, which is a ZVP, or we get a mirror match, but hey, at least it's not another ZVP. So, kind of whatever way you look at it, we're winning in the tournament today with the results. Again, it is all best of 7, and we are going to be starting this off on Error Home in the next few moments to kick this off into play to wrap up this Rex April Madness event. It's been a fun kind of couple of weeks covering this one alongside our WardiTV Spring Championship. Again, shout out to Rex for running this as well, giving us something a little bit additional to actually watch and cast that isn't our own tournament for a little while. Big fan of that. So yeah, some fun stuff there as we will be heading into Error Home momentarily, get this started off. And get into play. So guys, again, welcome to the stream. So good to have you with us. Some Rex April Madness action. If you're here early, you know what I'm going to say on the YouTube, you can hit a like and subscribe button, but really do hit the like button early if you're already on the YouTube. It does help a lot as we kick off into this best of 7. So again, best of 7 semis means everything will be best of 7 today. As in the top right hand side, our blue Zerg player is going to be Rogue. Taking on the red Protoss in the bottom left corner of the map, we're going to have ourselves Hero as we kickstart the action and get this underway and started up. And like I said, I'm just genuinely very excited to see what happens, because Hero's obviously extremely good right now, one of the very best at the moment. No one is going to deny that. However, Rogue is also very good at the moment. My biggest concern for this series actually being interesting from Rogue's perspective is that Rogue does seem to be struggling to just kind of get into a lot of the games. And that's kind of a concern, right? If you're struggling to get into these games. And when I say struggling to get into them, what I mean is that it feels like he can play really cool mid-games, but to get to a point where he can, you know, get there, like, I just feel like he's at risk of dying a lot of the time before we get to that sort of stage, you know? So, let's see what happens as we do have our Overlord coming about as well. Obviously, a Semifinal and the Nexus coming through here. The Touch Pool coming up as well, so we just get that underway to begin with for a few moments. And yeah, Nexus coming through, the Cybercore coming up as well, so we continue to bring that online. The Cybercore completing very shortly, and we'll get the Warp Gate started up from it. So again, already some benefits being seen in these early stages. We get established and get under some control. Again, that Nexus coming through. Gonna be ready shortly, as we do otherwise just have ourselves the Link Speed and the Queens and the drones coming up as well. Twilight Council added on in amongst all of that. One drone gonna come down that right hand side. He's gonna throw down a 3rd hatch as well. Just gonna pop that into place. It's going to be Resonating Glaives actually from Hero, so we're going to play this a little bit differently to the norm. Twilight Council is already kind of an interesting choice, what you don't usually see. looking to actually go Resonating Glaives off of it, while Hero is deciding that he is going to put on some pressure. As we are going to get this running real shortly. Probe coming out. Panel still sitting around there just for a couple of moments. We do have ourselves the couple of links still coming back over. Again, that Resonating Glaive is very much so on its way up currently here. Continue to bring that through for now. And the Rope Gate about to finish up as well. So again, just a little bit of everything coming on through. We got ourselves settled for the next little while. A Rotron coming up. 10 more Lings coming in as well. A couple of Adepts continue to come through as we just have the Adepts going to step forward. The Zergling's going to be chased away there for a couple of moments on top of everything else. So again, some nice pickoffs with those early on. A few Roaches and Lings coming through. I mean, obviously you want to make units here to be able to survive against this, right? So Rogue is prepping. Let's see if this preparation will be good enough. There's obviously a feeling this is going to kind of force the Adepts back a little bit. Rogue, when you look at what he's seen on the map, he sees the forward pylon and so on, so you've seen a lot of Adepts too. He definitely has a pretty good idea of what's starting to go on here, I would say. I mean, it gets to a point here anyways where it's like, how much is there really to figure out beyond the fact that there's Adepts and there's a gateway? And this is likely going to be a whole bunch of pressure coming through from our Protoss player. Now, I love what Rogue's doing, because I think he's taking that, and he's taking it as a bit of a challenge to be essentially just saying, like, hey, look, right, I'll see what you're up to, I see you being aggressive, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and continue to threaten a counterattack and try and delay your aggression from coming across. And Blink has significantly started, and we've not even seen these Adepts trying to make a play yet. Because you can argue as well that Hero might be put off the true commitment to an attack, because he knows that Rogue has had time to prepare. And I think that's actually got some viability to it as well, as we do see 6 probes going down on the other side. It does mean that Rogue is missing Lings here that would help to defend against these Adepts as we continue to chase those Adepts into the mineral line. The wall off there is looking good. How many drones do we lose? None yet, just lost mining time. The Adepts shade back down. They're actually shading out into the entry area, which means that we're not going to be seeing them getting any more workers for the moment. We're going a good wrap around again. Going to be a good cleanup for the next few moments as well. So, clean up there. I mean, obviously we keep some of these Adepts alive as Hero, which is nice. There's going to be some value to that, right? Someone's going to come over. The couple of Adepts can get jumped on once more. Going to get those killed. Again, Dark Shrine and the Gateway coming through. The Blink still very much so on the way at the moment. So again, a lot of that coming about right now. It's going to be seen that Blink is still coming through. Can Hero's follow-up be good here? I mean, he's going to a Dark Shrine as well. It feels like he's getting very committed on this next round of units. Adepts shading back, but stepping forward is obviously a fairly common choice, just to make sure they're safe, but still trying to get some information and threaten a little bit. Now those Lings getting wrapped around. The Adepts going to take some damage. The Adepts pull further back. I mean, Rogue has just kept making units. Is that a good call? Is that a bad call? I actually don't really know what we're feeling about that at the moment. I'm thinking on it. I mean, a lot of the Adepts were still alive from before, so that part of it I don't love as much, but at the same time, I'm like, well, you know, he has kept on making Adepts too, so maybe this works out. Like, if there's a lot of Stalkers here now, I'd be a lot more concerned. The problem is the Dark Shrine, right? The Dark Shrine is a W key against this attack, because there's just no answer to DTs, so basically right now, you just need to do as much damage as you can in the next few moments, because this is your last chance to deal damage before DTs just kill everything. Obviously, at home, you can get some Spore Crawlers up and begin that preparation, and at least DTs will reveal themselves here for Rogue before he actually has to deal with them on the other side of the map, so there is some benefit there too. 25, 28 workers killed. Like, it's not bad. He's done a lot of damage. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. The fact that the damage he has done is very respectable, and it's definitely going to put him in an alright position. It's just that attack does come to an end because of the DTs. Now we've got to make sure we defend the DTs well. We've got the lair coming up. Obviously, Rogue's in a weird position now where he's got no lair attack, and he was very committed to that attack as well. And you look at this at the end of the day, and it's like, well, actually, Hero is on equal worker count. The army supply is about similar. DT stepping through, Roach is coming around. Have ourselves the couple Stalkers coming through, the +1 weapons coming about also. So again, we get that on the go. Get that being brought up. Extra Stalkers on the way through. We had a +1 attack upgrade to that as well. Ling's gonna get over to the left-hand side. Roach be coming through. The Roach is coming about. Stalkers gonna get there and get rid of that Overlord. Still got the Lings coming around too. A couple of the Zealots and the DT joining up together. The Sentry also nearby. So Violet stuffing Mins in. It's been a very interesting game, obviously, because of the fact that Hero kind of followed up fairly aggressively himself, it felt like, with the DC trying after Blink. The actual also just protected him against the aggression of his opponent. I mean, I think Hero, well, obviously Rogue is just on one more all-in attempt here, so it may be just obvious to say, but I really feel as though Hero has done enough to kind of more or less win this game, because his tech is going to be heavily favored in his, on his side now. So yeah, I really do think we've got ourselves already just a straight-up winning position here on the side of Hero. Like, I don't think he can die to this attack. This does not look overly scary. Well, what units are out? 1 Archon, 11 Stalkers, none of them in position on the third base, so that's going to give you at least a positional advantage. So there is something, I guess. The Archon obviously very good at tanking. A couple of batteries are going to help. A few Lings going to drain the battery in the mineral line as well. We get rid of the Archon. Okay, Rogue having a little bit more potential here than I thought. I mean, I especially thought with the +1 available too. I just did not really look at this as a realistic, like, hey, look, we can actually break through this position. But maybe I was incorrect in my assumption, because right now Rogue is making a pretty good case of it. He is going to start getting turned around, though. He's actually killed a lot of army here, and I think that's obviously the very powerful part of this, is that because so much of the army has actually died, you actually might be able to get this done with, like, consistent pushes. We are on 8 gateways. 2 more High Templar, a few Zealots warping in. Zealots don't have charge yet. Once they get charged, they're obviously going to be so much better. But they're not there yet, so, you know, take that for what you will. Maybe there's some more opportunity because we're not on that stage just now. Roach Ravager kill coming through. A few more Lings going to leak forward. Are we actually going to get enough done? The final battery going down as it starts to get battled on the bottom side. This is a lot of Ravagers, but Ravagers are also very flimsy, and there is a state of game where you just take too much damage on those Ravagers, and then all of a sudden they are gone. The Stalkers can start to trade very well because they can blink back and keep themselves alive in those moments. So definitely feels like we're getting toward a position here where I think Rogue has got it, but I don't want to commit to saying it just yet out loud. Oh, I kind of just did, but I'm still not overly confident in the actual final result. It's been looking better for Rogue. I think we've still got a little ways to go to just finally get there. The few Stalkers still blinking away, which means that Hero is finding efficiency with these units on repeat right now. So that's obviously a very powerful part of this as well. A few Stalkers still shooting, the Ravagers taking more damage. He's got it. The Ravagers, well, the Ravagers start to go down. Oh, I actually thought he just kind of broke through the Stalkers, but I missed a couple on the bottom side. That actually does mean the Ravager's going to fall. The Zealots are very efficient against these units too. 4 probes go down. I mean, Rogue has no setup to the future is the continued problem here, right? Like, Rogue does not have anything coming into play that's like, yep, we are going to go and win out from this one. So it looks pretty horrendous in that regard. I think Hero's done it defensively. I think he's absolutely managed to get what he needs here, and it looks as though Hero will be scraping through game 1. This was the problem with consistently having to trade against Blink Stalkers, right? Eventually, they're going to start finding efficiency if you're not just kind of doing enough damage to truly end the game against those guys. Like, they're crazy how effective they can be. It's crazy how much you can get out of them, so... And I think that's been very apparent here on this one, so... Yeah, kind of a wild, a little bit of action as we do see our corrosive files coming down again. Let's continue to strike through. We do have ourselves the extra lings and ravages coming up also. I mean, there's not really much else to say here apart from just send it, Rogue. You got to try and do it. Like, this army is either going to get it done or not. And it feels more and more so the answer is leaning towards not. Army supply is still there for Rogue, but this is now a +2 attack upgrade army as well. Well, Stalker's going to step through. They're going to put some pressure on. A couple of High Templars are coming around. Obviously, Rogue is going to keep on trying to be aggressive as long as there's a chance. And, you know, basically when you look at this, there's always a chance. You look at that army that can absolutely be broken down. So, you know, opportunity is there. A couple of prison files coming through again. Does Hero have... I mean, Rogue is still just Master Road Ravager. There's still no real future tech in play here. There's no future plan. This is still just the same kind of old scenario that we've been kind of looking at for a little bit. I'm just wondering if there's any way... I mean, with the sentries there too, it feels even more unlikely. I feel like I'm just suggesting craziness by even pretending that Rogue can really win this, and I think they probably am. Got the creep spread very far forward, but like Roaches and Ravagers don't trade well enough against this army, and you're not... And the thing is, they could trade well if they overwhelm, but they're not at an overwhelming number anymore. That's the real deal breaker here, is that the numbers are just not good enough for Rogue. Like, this composition can work, it can be fine, but it needs to have a little bit more oomph to it, and unfortunately the oomph has been taken out of the equation already. Like, he had the opportunity earlier on, I think, but it really does seem to have passed by now. So we are going to have ourselves the Archons just pressing their way forward. The Ravagers, still scary. I mean, with good corrosive files, that's probably the one thing you can lean upon. Corrosive files don't care so much about those upgrades, but yeah. I mean, again, +3 Stalkers, they actually can get away with blinking in here. The Ravagers will buy themselves some time with the corrosive files again, but it's just, there's a reality setting in. That is just that this game is looking to be over, and that we are going to be having ourselves a game number 1 going the way of Hero in this best of 7. Rogue putting up a hell of a fight. Absolutely trying to stand tall and to live out here as long as possible. Make as much happen as he can. But yeah, the reality really is setting in right now is that this is going to be over sooner rather than later. More Archons gathered together. The Road Ravager Link coming through. We had the missile upgrade on as well. Was ever just going to be there? We knocked down a little bit of the high ground vision too, so we get that out the way. Still passing forward. The Road Ravager coming up. The Archon's going to shoot. Overlord will go down. And again, the Prison the Armor. A couple Stalkers coming over as well. GG going to get called, and that is going to do it for our opening game. Hero is going to get the win. So Hero gets to open up this series with a W. He's going to go up 1 in this best of 7. So Hero gets the opening game. And we're going to be heading into game 2 here very shortly. And this is just going to keep the games rolling. Game after game right now. So get that set up. We'll get straight into game number 2, guys. Again, that was, I really felt like Rogue was so close to breaking through a couple of times there, and it just obviously did not happen, was not meant to be. Sometimes it does just end up like that, huh? Sometimes it plays in that way. As we will have ourselves Persephone coming up for map number 2. Hero is ready, and if Rogue is ready, and we should be able to, like I say, just go, and dive headfirst into this next round of action. Get this up and running. Beautiful stuff. All right, again, thanks so much for joining us today, guys. If it wasn't for +3. Yeah, the upgrades obviously continue coming throughout the game were huge. Obviously, Rogue did look the strongest earlier on, though, right? Like, the thing is, it gets to a point where, like, the Stalkers are just, it just feels, maybe it's just a bias, but, like, I feel like I know at some point these Stalkers are already going to hold, so I kind of stop kind of worrying. Anyways, in the bottom left-hand side, our blue Zerg player here is Rogue, and he is down a game and looking to fight back. Fun first game. It's funny because I mentioned that I'm a little bit afraid of Rogue kind of getting into this game and being able to set up nicely and so on. But I actually kind of think, you know, looking back at that game, I was like, well, actually, by playing Glaives, I feel like that's where Rogue has a better chance of defending in comparison to, say, a like the Oracle play. Because I actually think the Oracle play from Hero is just that freaking good, you know? So I do kind of look at that and wonder, like, maybe Hero kind of gave Rogue an easier time. Because I do think if Hero plays Oracles, he's going to have some very good harassment. And I really think he's going to break through for quite a bit of damage at some point, so... We'll see. As in the top left-hand side, our red Protoss player is going to be Hero. Game number 2 of this best of 7. Probe just getting chased around the mineral line to start us off. No surprises there. Canoe in here? Let's jump in the Inno camera today, shall we? So yeah, no surprises just yet. Probe and the drones do a bit of nibbling at each other, going back and forth for a little bit, just to start us off. Alright, well, Joan, just going to be chasing the probe about for a little bit. Get moved around for a little while. The movement here, it's going to be seeing that link speed coming up, a couple of queens and the drones all coming through as well, so we just get that underway. And I'm still moving through, just again trying to look to see a bit of what's going on. Again, we'll see what will possibly happen here. And just take some steps around the Lingonic step over. Moving through for the moment. Alright, well, Oracle coming up, Warp Gate coming through. A couple of depths are going to be our initial point of interest here, so we'll just follow those around for a little bit now. As again, we get ourselves through the early few moments, get set. Well, Stasis War going to try and come through as well. Well, Stasis is going to catch a whole bunch of those drones, so we are going to be seeing that. It's actually going to be a nice little Stasis. This is what I mean when I say about I feel like Rogue is going to succumb to some of the pressure of Hero. That's why I kind of liked for Rogue the fact that we were playing a Resonating Glaives, because I felt like the Stargate play is just so much more likely to succeed from Hero in terms of getting some damage done. Maybe that's a really crazy kind of point of view, but it's kind of where we feels like we sit with it. Just have a few Zerglings going to hit at the front as well. Gonna try and hit that at depth for a little while. So Resonating Glaive still coming out. We've seen a couple of Stalkers just going to go pinging their way through for a couple of moments. A little bit of work being done. Nothing too crazy. Just got the Oracles, though, and they are going to go for the Queen, as we have to get the other Queens here. Transfusion goes down to save said Queen. Oh, I'm actually going to get an Oracle. Nice for Rogue, so we get rid of some of that pressure. Going to go into the Starglaves build order. So Oracle into Glaives means that you've got the Oracle pressure, and then you follow up with the power of the Stargate after. The power of the Glaives after, and those Adepts running around on the ground and trying to get work done. So that's going to be our choice here. And Resonating Glaives coming up, +1 attack, still very much so on the way in as well here for now. A lot more links coming through. Evo Chamber coming up. The Hatchery is on the way also. Again, we just keep bringing that into play already for the moment. Yeah, Hydra's going to be continuing up as well, so we keep bringing that on. We're just going to have our couple Queens still doing some shots. Dep's going to make their way out down to the south. Things are going to come around, just going to get a little wrap on the Adepts, but that's not ideal when they've got Glaives. It's going to make it a very difficult fight to really take, and these Lings just melt, and Rogue is already in trouble here. Hero going to take a convincing game number 2. And off to a 2-0 lead. Now, I really hope this isn't going to snowball into like a 4-0, because I would say that the Rex round of 8 of this tournament was not great. It'd be really sad if the top 4 was also a little bit of a shambles, because right now, Hero... I mean, first game was cool, but the second game, he really just killed Rogue, and I feel like Rogue needs to be a bit better of a scout and know what's going on and being, you know, more informed as to what is happening. Otherwise, he's going to start ending up in a lot of trouble very quickly. So I think there's a lot to be said there. As we load to Amygdala for Game 3 of this series, we get this set up. The setup and underway. Yeah, what's up, Skrullich? Thank you so much for the 36-month resub on the Prime. And into Amygdala. Thank you so much for the 3 years, mate. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Alright, let's head into game number 3 of this best of 7. Down 0-2. I mean, 0-2 doesn't feel great, but it's not impossible to obviously start bouncing back from an 0-2. Let's see what we get as we head into this one. It is going to be Rogue in the top right corner. He's just up against such a difficult opponent in the form of Hero. Time for Rogue to win a map. Get one here, and I feel like there's some potential. Like, I'm just scared because I feel like we've not even seen Hero kind of at full force with the Oracle pressure, and obviously I thought that that was going to be one of the key factors of this game, and yet we've not even seen that come into play yet. And a huge, well, we saw it a little bit last game, but he lost an Oracle, so it wasn't the best from Hero. So maybe I don't need to be as worried as I am, but I still have this just niggling feeling that we're going to see this very heavily rely on Rogue just not dying and taking too much damage, and I think that's going to be quite a tall order because Hero is just that good with the harassment a lot of the time. So we will see as the assimilator comes through. The hatchery coming up, the gateway coming about as well. And we'll just come nibbling around at the probe for a couple of moments. So again, just a little bit of damage being dealt here as we poke around for now. Drone just going to come funneling over. Cyberkill coming through, very much so that Nexus coming online as well. Just gonna get the assimilator popping out. I'll be here in a few moments. Let's see, the hatchling pool coming about, the Overlord coming into play. Let me just take a chill few moments, as PvZ typically is, right? Early game, Usually there's a bit of sitting back, waiting for some tech to come online and some choices to be made in that regard usually, so wait for all of that to come through. And Stargate is on the way up. We had a Nexus on, we had the Adept and the Warp Gate coming up as well. Speed's still coming through as well, so again, just a little bit of everything here and there, continuing out for now. But that Stargate about to finish then, well, I really, surely Hero is not going to play Glaives the whole time, because I feel like as this game goes on, or as the series goes on, you typically get to a point where Rogue will be like, right, he's clearly playing a lot of Glaives, I'm just going to have to be much better about scouting against those things, and just making sure that that's not going to be a continued issue. To me, it'd be crazy if Rogue just continued to neglect the fact that his opponent has been playing Glaives a couple of games now. Like, first game he was actually ready to deal with it pretty well. The second game obviously just caught him off guard after the Stargates. Like I say, to me, you should be switched a little bit more on from that now. And I mean, if we're just going to continue to die to Glaives, then this is not going to turn into the awesome best of 7 that obviously we would hope it does. I don't imagine Rogue has intentions of just letting this fall apart to Glaives every single game either. So I'll see what, like I say, comes up over the next few moments as we get fully set into play. Well, it's going to force the Adepts to step back there, not really too big of a deal or anything. Next is still building through, a couple of simulators coming up. I do have ourselves the Oracle still flying by. Trying to get in position a little, trying to see what's up. And the Oracle going to activate it, and very nearly gets a drone. Not quite in the end, just very nearly. Using the Oracle continue to get some work in. Going to force another cancel already. Got the Twilight Council and Forge both coming up, so again, once they finish up, we'll see. I really want to say we're going to see Blink this time. To me, it really feels like it should be Blink. I think like it's time to switch toward that. I don't think that's a crazy suggestion. Oracle will activate. They're going to get rid of the Queen. Feel the Queen stepping across, hitting these Oracles back, and just continue to chase them away. So we just push that straight out the other side. Oracles joined together too. It's just going to be only 4 of them. I mean, there's actually quite a lot of Oracles going into the 4th one. It's an investment that's going to really weaken your kind of Blink play, which means that we should unlikely, or not very likely, see this really be like a bigger commitment from here in terms of like some kind of aggression that really wants to hit and hit hard. Because otherwise you just wouldn't have built the 4th Oracle, because like I say, it takes too much away from the Stalkers to really see much benefit. Don't get me wrong, the 4th Oracle can be very nice. It can actually have a lot to say and a lot to do. Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be a much more just kind of tech it up game, and there's the Temple Archives already coming down, so Hero going to start showing us the idea there. Let's see how this goes. Oracle's activating, Queen is going to go down, a couple of drones getting nabbed as well, 3 workers dropping already. Fourth and 5th drone also going to just get popped. And +1 and Blink coming through currently, so we got the setup on that. Rogue is going to get the Hydras up. Tell you what, I will take back everything I've said, by the way. Like, yeah, these Oracles have done some okay damage before. Being 4 Oracles, I felt like it was going to be worse for Rogue, you know? I felt like Hero was going to get so much more done. I mean, he still lost a good amount and not actually killed anything in the process, but when you are playing against Hero, I guess my question is now, does Rogue have enough to defend from here? Let's, I suppose, see. As that Storm coming through, the Blink and the Charge continue to come about as well. Full Gaze and the Forge come over. That storm coming through is going to make Hero's army much better. And you see those High Templar lingering in the back as Rogue as well, so you've got a good idea that that's coming through. As he just tries to get his Hive Tech online so he can play straight into that Lurker Den and into those Lurkers for the next stage of this. Oracles activate, a couple more drones going down. Queens continue to chase as the transfusion comes off. No one believes Rogue can beat Hero. Yeah, I don't really believe it either, to be honest. Not right now, not in a best of 7. Best of 3, I can see Rogue taking the series. Best of 7, I feel like there's almost no chance. I do think Rogue will take some maps in this series, though. That would be my prediction going in. Like, I think my prediction going into this, I can really say beforehand, but I would say like a 4-1 or a 4-2. But if he goes down 0-3, then I'm actually more leaning towards a 4-0, just because I think at that point Rogue's already kind of just like, to me, Rogue needs to try and sneak some things in, and at that point we're beyond the point of trying to sneak things in even already. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said beforehand, my prediction would have been, I would have said 4-1. I think the hopefulest in me would say 4-2. Like, Rogue's been playing great lately, but I do not know if CVP is really the matchup where his greatness is shown when we have seen it on stream. How the tables are turned, best of 7 go Rogue. Yeah, it's funny actually, didn't think of that. This is always such a wild stat. This record in best of 7s was so good. I mean, to be fair, it makes sense, right? Because he was also a player that had just so much variation in his build, so he could always mix things up. And obviously, for a longer series, that's very, very powerful tool to have. The ability to mix it up and change things up a little bit. Pretty huge is the 10+2+1 coming around. Another ship and Tempest coming about. Tempest still building the shields coming through too. Let's just have ourselves the lane gonna go after the Zealots there, try and chase the High Templar down as well. Cannon's going to be in position straight away too. They're going to do a pretty good job of playing defense as well, so nice and easy defense there initially. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, we got Tempest on the way out, so he was very ready to play a later game into, against these Lurkers, basically. So he's just going to get set up straight toward that for the moment. Tempest just doing nice damage. 5 Lurkers going down. Now we're going to get cancel on the right side. Rogue getting pulled around a little bit. Moment of the game where you don't really want to get pulled around too much either. Storm still dropping. Hydra's getting hit. The Ling's getting chased. This Lurker's all burrowed up. A couple of Zealots still running through too, though. As they will still try and get some bits and pieces here and there. Just feels messy from Rogue, right? At the point in the game where I feel like we need, if Rogue's going to succeed, I need him to kind of start really solidifying and taking some better fights. He's just not had any of that just yet. Couple of Vipers, the Corruptor's coming through. Just going to be seeing our burrow fading off of there as well. As we do have ourselves the Stalker still poking around. Just going to begin to go through this set of rocks, so opening up this space over here as well. Straight through there. One coming down, a couple of Lurkers taking shots. The Stalker's blink up. That Lurker goes down already. Just the High Templar pulling back away. Lurker's going to continue to shoot at the moment, doing some more damage. I'm just going to step up and already going to see the Spore Crawlers taking some shots. Just going to be taking some hits. Obviously, you can fight from afar with those Tempests, and you can obviously use that to your advantage as well. Those Lurkers have to be careful too. We're going to try and dive around the map. Does Rogue have any plan for the even later stages of this game? I feel like my new concern for Rogue is really becoming like, what is the long-term plan? What is he? I mean, he's got a Great Spy on the way up and Ultra Cavern coming through. I feel like he's not even quite decided exactly what his full plan is going to be here as this game deepens a little bit. I think he's still trying to figure it out as he goes. The Mothership pushing forward though, and I mean, Hero's army's here right now. We need to start dealing with this, otherwise this is going to be a problem. Plain and simple. Trying to fight right here. Gets rid of the Mothership. Purpose and Overseer's taking a beating though. Rogue supply plummeting, and he has no money in the bank at all. This is going to be completely one-sided in favor of Hero as he looks to take a 3-0 lead, and Rogue, the 3-0'd Clem to get here, by the way, as well, is on the verge of just a completely, I don't want to say embarrassing, but it's not really embarrassing losing a Hero, right? But the scoreline really does reflect how these games have gone. Like, the first game was a little close. Rogue maybe had a couple of opportunities, but Hero still made a comfortable defense into a very comfortable game once that defense was made. Now I feel as though it just Rogue is... I mean, the last couple of games feel like Rogue's barely even got to get going. Like, obviously he did get going in this one a little bit more. We did see some action from him. He kind of got set up, but like, he got set up under the supervision of Hero, who basically for the entire game was like, yeah, I know exactly what you're doing. I'm absolutely fine with it, because if he wasn't, he probably would have done something about it. And he just met Rogue at every step of that game, ready to deal with whatever Rogue was building and all the rest. Exactly where Rogue wants. Time for reverse sweep. Yeah, is that the vibe we're going for? Gonna be Killer's Mile to start us off on the potential reverse sweep. Got this sorted in a couple of moments, guys. More action coming up here in the Rex April Madness event. Right, just trying to send something to Helen. Just press the wrong button. Perfect, guys. Alright, we're gonna get right back to it then. As we have ourselves Killer's Mile. Hero is up 3-0. Let's get this going. If we get a reverse sweep, you'll give 50 subs to the channel. I've never been more of a Rogue fan in my life. What a hero, what a champion of the people, what a great gamer. It's going to be tough, isn't it? I mean, against a lot of people, I'd actually give it Rogue a chance. Even, you know, post-military Rogue. It's just Hero. I honestly feel like it's difficult to win 4 games in a row against Hero, because I feel like I know at least one of them, Rogue is just going to lose too many workers early and die to the Blink Stalkers. And that's kind of the feeling I went into this series with, and even though it's not really happened like that, it's still the feeling I get, because I feel as though Rogue's not shown us any reason to kind of think particularly otherwise about it either, right? So, like, has it happened exactly like that? No, but the vibe is very much so the same. It's just like, he tries to set up a little bit early, but Hero stops him on the way, and hence things start falling apart and all the rest. Oh, Rogue's in the bottom left, Hero in the upper right of Killer's Mile as we go to potentially a final game of this series. Oh my, observers I follow down here. Yeah, potentially final game of this series already. So, say we got definitely cheering on Rogue because we want to see more games. We want to see more action. We don't want to see a best 7 be a 4-0. That's the worst possible outcome for us. So, let's see what takes place as we continue to get up and rolling here. Looking through the early stages as we speak. Yo, Scaffler, thank you so much for the gift of sub to Skilda XX. Thank you so much for the generosity. Can't start on those 20 early here, you believing? Zerg in 2025. Zerg players have been kind of fine lately. It's just, I don't think, I think Rogue has struggled the most in this matchup. To me, this is the matchup where he's absolutely had difficulties in. He's definitely not been comfortable in this matchup lately. Not that we've seen a ton of rogues EVP, I guess, but... Yeah, like I say, from what I think, I can't think of a time where I watched rogues EVP, I was like, hell yeah, like, he's played some games from, like, scrappy positions, but it's never really, like, clean EVP or, like, succinct builds that are, like, looking super deadly from the start or anything like that. It's an interesting one to look on. It's $5 need to be donated to keep people like you StarCraft alive. There's a lot of people doing a lot of awesome things to StarCraft too, so I still appreciate that you choose us as one of your points of support. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm so excited, guys. Tomorrow's the Spring Championship playoffs, day 1, and I'm super excited because we are going to be announcing the WardiTV 2025 series. I think it's going to be a lot of, I think, just exciting to kind of tell you guys our plans for the year, and I've been very excited because I've really been trying to ask people what they want and trying to figure out what people want and stuff like that. So, yeah, super excited to try and to get that announced tomorrow and officially reveal what our plans are, what the events will look like and stuff. Should be exciting. Oracle coming around at the bottom side. Let's take a few moments here to start off with. He's just going to push that Oracle over the sides, just going to chase that away for a couple of moments here. We will see what our next part of the plan will be. As the Oracle tries to find some more drones, they have to just run away. Yeah, good job by Rogue. Minimizing damage taken so far. 1 drone, 2 lings. You guys think Hero has a chance of playing the second... not second, like the 4th Oracle again, because that was obviously pretty interesting in the last one. I wonder if that's something he really has a chance of, or possibility of thinking like, oh yeah, let's do this a second time or so, or if he's just going to be like, nah. And he already used the extra Oracle, maybe doesn't feel he needs it. Maybe, I don't know if like he made the 4th Oracle because he felt it would be especially good against Rogue, for example. Well, committing in here, the Queens get rid of the first Oracle quickly. The Adepts are going to be low. We're going to get rid of the majority of those without too much issue as well, I would say. It's a fairly comfortable starting point so far, no? Seems very reasonable, at least, as we have ourselves the Adepts. Just going to try and scrounge out a couple of drone kills at the very end, but I think that is them being just a little bit too hopeful. I don't think there's really much for a couple of final Adepts to find here, so not too much done at the end of the day. And it's just going to be seen still that +1 and Blink coming up, a couple of gates and probes coming through as well. Blink and the +1 continue to produce, so we're going to see all of that coming online right away here. And that's straight into action. Just going to see the Stasis Ward going to catch Lings and a Queen, so not actually that crazy or anything for now, I would say. Gonna keep trying to go with those Stasis Wards, but the Lings do get the denial on some extra ones from coming up, so at least going to stop a little bit of that coming into life. Obviously, the more of this harassment you can stop, the happier you're typically going to end up feeling about the whole thing as well. So, definitely some positives there. Two more Stargates in the fleet pick, and Hero just says, you know what, I'm fine. You know, we saw what happened last game. He seems to be very okay about just going into another round of action where he's just going to commit to all of that air tech and the later game in general, so I'm just going to set that up for the moment. Feelings on the run by going to find themselves a bunch of workers. This is where I think Rogue can excel, where if he gets the run bys going and he can hit the harassment and actually kind of step in the game himself and be very annoying and kind of make it difficult for his opponents. I think because Rogue is still very fast as a player. We've seen that in a lot of his games. He's very fast and he's very good at keeping track of some of the chaotic situations when he's in control of them. And I think that's a big determining factor on what you're about to see out of Rogue in each and every game, where it's like, if he can be the one that's kind of setting us off into all of the aggression, if he's setting us off into a lot of the attacks and dictating the pacing of the game, I actually feel like Rogue is so much of a better player than when he is the one that has to deal with the opponent kind of doing that. There's a definite flip in the games where he played against Clem, where Clem got control early and really kept control. There was a couple times Rogue wrestled control back, but the most comfortable Rogue looked in those games was when he had control and when he was making Clem run around, when he was making Clem have to figure out how to defend, because then he was run-buying everywhere. And obviously it makes sense that, you know, being in control makes it a little bit easier for you typically. I guess it makes sense that we're just going to win this game right there as well, as we just run through and end the game. GG, no 4-0. I mean, I guess Hydra's just going to come up and there's just not enough Stalkers there. We're attacking too hard. Okay, I actually missed out just how committed we were getting there on the side of Rogue. He actually just went in with a massive Hydra. Sorry guys, I was getting really carried away with my story. But yes. The reason Hero just dies is because he's teching too quickly to Tempest. He's thinking Rogue's about to play Lurkers again, but Rogue's actually going to play just mass Hydra off 66 drones, and so he has nothing. But there you go. I missed just the fact. I actually kind of saw Hero going Tempest and just also presumed we were good for a long game, so I started rattling on. My bad, guys. My bad. All good, though. Not the end of the world, as we will head ourselves into Sandworm here in a moment or two for this next game. Get this up and rolling. And head into game number 5. So we're actually going to get another map. I'm completely taken aback by the fact I was just completely blind to the fact that Rogue was about to kill Hero. My apologies, guys. Sometimes body brain is not there. Just starting to cook. Well, hopefully this is a good sign. And this was a case of Hero actually being the player who should have been a little bit more active with the scout and a little bit more realizing of kind of what was going on and what situation was kind of developing. He just didn't really bother to check. He just kind of made a bit of a presumption more than anything and just sort of went from there. Drone coming about, probe coming through as we get settled in for a couple moments. Game 5 of this best of 7. So Rogue takes one back. It'd actually be kind of crazy if Rogue reverse swept, as those first games were definitely feeling like it was just all Hero. Even this last game kind of feels it's like, well, maybe Hero just could have scouted a little better, right? He really did just kind of roll over and die there, unfortunately. Poach coming up, a couple of pylons coming through as well. We will just have ourselves a full-on cannon rush apparently, because Hero says, you know what, I don't like to do things the way everyone thinks I'm going to do them. A cannon rush in 2025. It's only been a long time since we've seen a truly successful cannon rush in PvZ. Even just a dedicated cannon rush in the first place, never mind one that works. I'm trying to think back of the last time I saw, I saw someone trying to cannon rush not long ago in a PvT, maybe a PvP, but in PvZ? I think Mana sometimes does a little cannon rushy thing, sometimes when certain bases get taken and so on, but that's like the closest thing I can really think of right now. Hatch, Queen, Overlord on the way up is obviously Rogue just cancels. He's going to build a hatchery bottom right side, so obviously Heroes invested into the Forge early to try and play the delay game. Obviously resources lost is not much, there's a little bit of canceling being done, and then you can see a little bit more of everything else here. About. Sorry guys. So yeah, obviously there's the investment into the cannons that have been built and so on anyway, so obviously we've got to keep that in consideration. Gonna see that cannon hitting for a couple of lings, so a few shots coming through, some hits coming around for the moment. Well, that's going to end up on that bottom right hatchery. I mean, that's sad for Rogue if he loses this so soon, because it feels like he's barely even gotten anything out of it just yet. Those things keep on nibbling away with the Azars for now. The cannons here are going to zone the lings out. Will just come through. Hatchery is going to go down. I mean, Rogue is building a Rotron. He's just going to... Is he just going to knight us? What's the left for? Just drop a Lord, maybe? He has no... He's not going to get Overlord, so yeah, it's just going to be a knight us. He was only on one base. He's going to go one base knight us. This is one base Protoss. See the lings coming down, a couple more shots going through. Now this is going to be trying to come up here as the lings already running toward the front to try and be impactful early on, so... Is popping up as we get straight into it. Then a few roaches and ravagers popping out just at the front, so just going to try and bring units across the map quickly. Just try and use that positioning to your advantage as well. Oracle activating, getting a bunch of drones, so Rogue is just taking an absolute beating. He's going to be more committed than we might have thought already. Maybe seeing a couple more shots coming through. GG's, and Hero going to take it 4-1, just like that. That is going to be that. All right. So, Hero wins it 4-1. That is that. GG's. Wasn't the greatest of series, if I'm going to be honest. Wasn't the greatest of series. Alright guys, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to go break screen. I've actually got my lunch for the day. Stuff's a bit messed up time-wise because we've got decoration in the house going on. So I'm going to have my lunch, and when we come back, we're going to go straight into Solo vs. MaxPax. I'll see you guys soon. Alrighty, guys. Just finished my last couple bites of lunch. Still in my mouth. Alright. So, we're gonna get ready to go into solo MaxPax best of 7 here for the next match today. Someone say lunch, yeah. No LE today, I'll explain why in a sec, but thank you so much, Infinity960, for the Prime sub, first of all. That came in during the break. Let's get our priorities straight. Thank you so much for priming us up, we appreciate it. But yes, Ellie is downstairs, so we're getting decorating the house, so for the last few days, Ellie was locked up here while they decorate downstairs. Today, Ellie's locked downstairs while they decorate upstairs. So, it's lovely. As let's get into our next best of 7. And one here from Persephone. That should gateway. There's gonna be seeing a hatch coming up, a couple drones coming about. Okay, we're coming around as well. As you see, our probe also getting built in for the moment. Just gonna get a little bit of setting up, getting done. Hatch gas pool, all on the way up. So yeah, next cervical similarly coming through, hatch in the pool coming up. We had the drone on as well. Continue to get settled in for some early stages. Get this settled down for the next few moments and see what we're gonna get up to. Yeah, next in the Stargate coming up, it's gonna be getting through. Helen just walked in with the sauce pot to go with my lunch, and I'm just like, I already ate it. Alright, Link Speed coming up, Stargate coming through, Warp Gate still coming about. As we just take a few moments. I actually think this is going to be a better series than Hero Rogue. I think Solo has a good chance of fighting against MaxPax. I think MaxPax has not been perfect in this matchup lately. Still going to come about. The Overlord going to be taking some nibbles right now, so taking some shots. And the 12th facility and the robo continuing through, so we continue to get that going for now. Nothing, yeah, Oracle obviously coming across, going for a little bit of harassment. Just gonna hit, the Adept's gonna take some damage. We do have the Forge and the Temple Archives continue to come about. Wings get a wrap around, the Adept gonna go down there. Eva Chamber and the Lair continue to come over. And again, a couple of Archons just gonna sit there and join into the Prism. Eva Chamber coming through, so MaxPax is going to use those Archons as a way to drop and harass and to try and deal some damage. We'll be getting that done on the other side, starting to hit the Queens already. Once again, Roach speed, Roaches continue to come around for now. Just for a moment, so again, we get a little bit of all of that coming about. Overlord's hitting the, Archon's hitting those Overlords for a couple of moments at least. For the moment. Still looking fairly reasonable. So again, Storm Charge continue to come up for the moment. Again, just continue to bring that through. The Archon's going to hit. A few more of those Creep Teamers going down. The Queens and the Roaches continue to come across as well. +1 Storm and the Charge continues to build. All of that continuing into play. Prism goes all the way down the bottom. We're just going to join up with the Oracle as well. It's just going to get joined back in for a couple of moments. Eight Swarm Hosts on the way, so that's going to be why Solar kind of plays this game around, playing those Swarm Hosts in the early stages. Definitely a bit of a different way of going about it as the Prism moves back and along. Couple High Templars coming around as well. So have ourselves the Swarm Hosts all building on through. Storm coming up also, still got those couple of more, the +1, the Charge, all coming by for the moment. And we're just going to send this to Solar. Obviously, begin to get those Swarm Hosts up in front and begin to get some work done with them is generally the idea. So we'll get that all underway. We're seeing a couple of Archons going to fire up. The Roach Ravager taking shots. Nice Storms. Again, you're going to use those Storms on the Locust, and that's meant to keep the Roach Ravager alive, and that's where the efficiency of this style from Solar will come from. Fuse Elt's going to counterattack, and that's annoying because you want to keep the majority of your units focused on the other side if possible. With the Storm, the Roach Ravager taking shots again. These Immortals are still going to be stepping up too. They continue to make their way around. Just going to see those few Zealots still stepping by for now. Having a couple of shots continuing about. Obviously, the Immortals going to be able to really stand their ground for a little bit. Let's have ourselves the present coming through. A couple of Zars getting picked away at as well, so a few shots continuing about for the moment. And plus 2 missiles. And so continue to come over. Ravager's going to still get pushed around back the other way. And we'll have ourselves the few Swarmers. In danger of being caught, that would be really bad for Solar. Roach Ravager going to try and protect them. Coming in from the other side, gets the storm, makes you stop for a second. So the Swarmers do get themselves, or do end up being saved here. A couple of Archons going to go after the Ravagers again. A couple of corrosive files coming about. Going to have ourselves the Archon still there. A couple of Zealots getting picked away at too. Storm's still very much so on the way about here currently. Just bringing that straight in. Just going to be having the Immortals. And so, I mean, this army is very powerful, MaxPax. The fact that it's getting across the map is a big concern for Solo already. So definitely not great as these odds will continue to go. Hitting these Hydras a whole bunch. Immortals still hitting. The Roach is taking damage. We will have ourselves... I mean, it's dangerous for MaxPax to be here because obviously it can go wrong very quickly. If you get caught with that army and everything kind of goes down with you, then or your entire army goes down because the Locust can truly kind of jump on top of you, then like I say, it can go wrong very quickly. So it's definitely a moment of caution, but this is just not happening. MaxPax's army is clearly strong enough on this one, and he's going to take the 1-0 lead in this best of 7. So a strong start out of MaxPax here. Gets himself off to a good place to begin with. Be pretty happy with that for the moment. So yeah, not a bad start. Heading to our game number 2 in a second. Our second map will be Error Home, so and moving through a couple of the more interesting maps, some of the lesser seen maps for a couple of moments here. And get this underway as we just load everyone to accept that invite in. Like I say, game 2 going to be on our horizon in just a moment here between MaxPax and Solar. Our second best of 7 today, guys, in the final day of this event. How is it decided if it's best of 3, best of 5, best of 7, or best of 9? It's just up to the tournament organizer. Typically, group stages are best of 3s, playoffs are best of 5, finals best of 7. It just depends what you want. For example, because the semis and finals are on one day today, 2 best of 5s and best 7 can sometimes be a little bit shorter. Going for a triple best of 7 makes it a little bit longer and a little bit more kind of like, okay, cool, we get some actual extra games in. Obviously, you've got to respect the players as well. You're trying to make it kind of a good length for yourself to watch and like have as a tournament organizer, while also not making it like, oh, this is going to take forever. The players are just going to be, you know, sat there having to play all day long, and it's like the group stage, right? So there's definitely a little bit of a of an in-between to think about for it. So. In the bottom left of this game is going to be our blue Zerg player Solar. In the top right, MaxPax taking the 1-0 lead as we get this one up and running. Here in the assembly coming up, the Hatch, Gas, and Pool. all coming around as well, so we get all of that brought into play for the moment here. Extractor coming up. Oh, just going to be seeing our few drones continue to nibble around. Probe going to be there for a couple extra moments. Obviously, probe scan, we're not really finding too much of anything just yet, as we take a few moments. Stargate, the choice from MaxPax again, not really too surprising, very much so what you would kind of expect for the early stages. The Lings will nibble away, the Adept can take some damage, Queen gonna step over also, as we just have ourselves the Lings and the Ling speed will continue to produce for the moment here, so we bring that all about. But Depth's hanging around, again, the Ling speed building. See the Queen already fighting for a little bit as well, so some work being done. As we are going to see the Depth's getting drone and just getting out alive. Always a nice little 1-2 punch. You get in, you get out, no problem at all. Things will go and take a few more shots, taking a little bit of a beating there, a few hits coming about. Drones continue into production as well. And they're still trying to find their way. Obviously, a couple of Lings trying to at least bring some kind of contest to this, although not really succeeding too heavily just yet. Well, Dep's going to go back the other direction. Again, just going to see those units still gathering up. Take a moment or two, get regathered, and see what will be next. Oracle ends up pulling all the way back over here as well. That will also just continue to step through for a couple of moments, if nothing else here. They take a couple of seconds. See how Stalker's starting to step forward. They don't have Blink just yet, so they want to be a little bit careful with what they decide to get up to right now. Definitely a little bit of caution to be exercised, I would say. Stalker's still shooting again. A few more lings in the roaches just continue to drop off. And as long as that is happening, we just have ourselves the Temple Archives still building as well. Plus one missiles and roach speed coming through. Do we have more momentum here to really keep on gaining his MaxPax? I'm kind of surprised so far already by how it's kind of going down. More roaches taking a couple more shots. Definitely a little bit of intrigue, no doubt, as, well, we do see our Stalker stepping up. Creep team are going to get grabbed right there as well, so a few more hits being taken and absorbed for the moment. The roaches will continue to drop. Our Stalkers will continue to fight here. Hatchery taking some damage too. Plus one missiles and that groove spines coming online here, so again, we continue to bring that through for the moment. Roach, Hydra, Ravage joining. The few Stalkers going to just get in towards the hatchery. Now we've got ourselves the Stasis World catching feelings as well. Can we actually just get rid of this hatchery? It would be an amazing kill to just grab super early on here, right? You get rid of that hatch, you're going to make life so much more difficult for the opposition. Things Ravages, Hydras continue to take some shots. We can get a little bit more done here and there. Just have ourselves the Templar gathering up as well. And we got ourselves a lot more roaches coming out. Solar surviving through was going to feel like a little bit of a challenge based on what we were seeing happening so far in the game. So see that kind of getting sorted a little bit. Let's just have ourselves Spider Roach Force still stepping around just for now. High Templar's obviously going to be good. You need those storms. They're going to help you a lot as well in these deep stages. Hydra's going to split. Good storm on a few of the Hydras already. The Stalkers as well going to think about starting to come forward there. So, do we want to kind of commit to this fight, or what are we thinking? Probably not too bothered about committing, really, are we? As settle ourselves. Open up some rocks, obviously give Solo some more directions to attack him, but MaxPax is already swinging down to the bottom side of the map, so he's going to try and make things happen over here already. Trying to get himself into a little bit of a better space. High Templars come back over, just going to be seeing the storm coming around. About for the moment. The storm's coming all over the place. Roach Hydra looking to try and still attack through. Another nice storm hitting the Ravagers, hitting the Roaches. The Zealots charge in from the other side. The Archon's coming through as well. Good storms across the board currently. It's actually a very good defensive thing from MaxPax. Those storms are doing so much damage throughout this. Just absolutely one-sided this engagement as MaxPax will play a complete cleanup and is looking to take a 2-0 lead. Storming ahead in this best of 7. Solar does not have an answer for MaxPax's strength in this second game, and we are going to see MaxPax, like I say, taking the leading charge off to a 2-0 position. Going to be feeling very good about it. Oh, well. Exciting times, huh? Exciting times. The storm is really just kind of insane. Kind of going through. What's up, BB Ann? Sorry, you want me to accept your greetings? I'm sorry I'm delayed. I was not checking the YouTube chat. Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us for some StarCraft 2 today. Really appreciate it. As we will head ourselves into this game 3 in a moment. Our third map is Sandworm, so we actually continue with all of the weirder maps to start out with, actually. Like I say, some of the newer maps in the map pools and so on, all of those being brought to life at the moment as we head ourselves into, like I say, Sandworm for this game 3. Yeah, heading into Sandworm here in just a second. We'll get this one kicked off. Thanks for joining us, guys. Thank you so much to the original Booger subbing for 6 months in advance, not just a month. Gonna say, you know what? Love StarCraft 2 that much. We're gonna get a whole bunch more of it continuing through. Love it! Thank you so much for the 6 months in advance sub. I appreciate the support. Easy math, you give Wardy money, he gives us SC2. Yes! It really is. That is how it works a lot of the time. It is how it works a lot of the time. Let's head into game number 3 of this best of 7 then. As we continue around and we get set up for a couple moments. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Wardy. Cheers. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, honestly. You rock. Thank you so much for supporting. Again, it takes a lot of faith to not just subscribe, but to then, you know, do it for 6 months in advance already, you know? That drone gonna come across, just gonna drop down onto the hatch. As you see, the gate and the gas continuing through as well. It's just gonna be seeing very standard stuff. Obviously, MaxPax getting the block off on the natural to begin with as well is fairly noteworthy. Yo, Chipper, thank you so much for the 18-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. That's a Chad sub. It is a bit of a Chad move. It's like, I believe in this content so much, I will support it for many months to come. Before even having confirmation. Like, what if I actually plan just disappearing next month, you know, guys? What if I just disappear next month and that's it? I'm gonna get 5 months of subscription out of you guys for nothing. My master plan is working, finally. Finally. Gonna be rich! As much as you've watched Yomi, yeah. Shit, I guess I'm just collecting debts then. Rip. I guess I'm just collecting debts. Ay. I thought I was onto something. I thought I'd figured it out. Couple shots. Probe taking some damage. Take some hits here early on. Hey, what's up, Nerlaten? Thank you so much for the 34-month resub on the Prime. Just actually not on the Prime, on the regular resub. Appreciate it too. Thank you so much. Depthful Shade just gonna be going across. That's going to be there. Queen going to fight as well, so a few shots coming through nice and quickly. The Link Speed coming about, a couple of drones coming in. Now have ourselves, obviously, the Link's getting that Link Speed up as well, so get that online sooner rather than later here, hopefully. Well, depth still getting whacked around, so again, we continue with that for a moment or two. Gonna see a couple of queens coming about as well. It's just gonna join a lot of that together for a few moments. Oracle trying to still poke in, but obviously Solo's got pretty good defenses set up, so Queen's in position. Not going to let that go too far just yet, at the very least. So, keep our eyes on that and see what we can do. Yeah, that's why going about. A couple of gates coming in. Just going to see the Oracle still going to sit there. We are going to get a creep teamer going down. As the Twilight and the gates continue up, the Nexus coming around. And again, a few more drones continue to get built for the moment. So we get all of that set up. As the Spore Crawler shoots, the Oracle taking some damage. Just gonna have this Nexus building in as we speak here. Put that up in one line. Got 2 more gates, and that forge continuing to build right now. This thing's coming across, the Oracle is there. Let me just go stepping around for a few moments. Things are going to start opening up these rocks as well. They're obviously pretty important. You do want to open up that space and get access to this sort of position. Engine coming about, the extra links coming over. And missile upgrade build as well. So just keep that coming through. Stalker's going to step forward again, try to see a bit of what we can do with the group spread being revelated. So a couple of those group teamers already taking some hits, some shots coming through for the moment. And again, these couple of queens can take some shots as well. Ling's going to turn around. The Stasis Sword going to sit right there as well. You can see the another Stasis coming down too, so going to bring that straight up. And yeah, a little catch for the moment as we have fairly nice little push from MaxPax, still just coming forward. No Stasis is really in a good position right now, though, I guess. Maybe that part is not as ideal as the fueling step over. The Stalker's going to hit the Queen for a few moments, too. Stalker's getting rid of Hydra after Hydra. That's obviously not pretty for Solar in the slightest, so that's really not great. It's going to be pretty sad for you in total, honestly. He's going to get caught in the Stasis Ward. The Hydras get pushed back once again. Queen's still just sat there chilling for a little bit as we do have our Lings. Now Hydra's going to step over. Depth's going to be getting caught by a couple of these Lings, so we are just going to get a little catch there as well. A couple more pickoffs for the moment. And Storm about to finish up. The charge is still very much so on its way in currently. Feelings getting chased about. Can Solar actually jump on this army at all, or is this something which is maybe just a step too far away? Another Storm coming down, a couple of Hydras getting hit across the board. He's going to try and keep on chasing up for the moment. He has another couple of Storms coming down, so the Roach is getting struck for the moment. And, well, Ravager's taking damage too. MaxPax down 20 supply or so. A couple of Zelds going to get in on top of that Queen. Try and re-engage through again. It's another nice Storm on the Ravagers and the Hydras there. Just going to be seeing another couple units on the bottom side getting cleaned up as we speak. I mean, these Storms are just great. Solar's just standing, and I mean, the problem is once you start losing units, number of units is meant to be the strength of Solar, and that's clearly not sticking. You know, that's clearly not turning out to be good enough right now, as a couple of Roaches will be there. Everything gathering just in that top side, so taking that position. Hydras and Roach is going to knock their way through a set of rocks for a couple of moments. Really just trying to do what they can for a little bit as we just have ourselves the army still coming in from the other side. Another nice storm hitting the Hydras, hitting those roaches for the moment. Still doing a good job of this. I just don't think there's ever enough really here for Solar to keep on fighting, and GG gets called, and this is going to become a 3-0 for the second time today. We're going to be at 3-0 before we even have, well, before we even have anything really going on. I mean, this is just kind of crazy, really. So not exactly ideal in terms of us trying to get some good games going. Not loving that part of it. Alright, let's go into Ultra Love. I mean, obviously we want some longer games, some longer series, but it's just not happening so far today, so I feel bad for Rex, man. It's happened to me many a time, right, where you have kind of like a day where, you know, your tournament's pretty good, and then you go to your playoffs, and then it's like, in your playoffs, you're like, huh, why isn't it going as well as it should be? And you're just like, and everyone just seems, the games just seem to be a bit more one-sided, and sometimes that just happens. Always unfortunate, obviously, when it does happen, because obviously you're not like, we want good games, we want good series. I know there's always bad games, but to see like kind of back-to-back bad games in your playoffs and your final day and stuff, so it was a little bit of a sad one. So feel bad for Rex, but such is the life of the tournament organizer. As MaxPax sets up to basically be up 3-0. Well, he is up 3-0 in this matchup, but he's basically threatening to come in and to win this here now in this next game coming up in just a second. As we have ourselves in the bottom left side with the red Zerg, who has just not been able to do anything of note, unfortunately, so far in this matchup. This is going to be Solar. Taking on in the top right, our Blue Protoss player MaxPax, as we get ourselves game number 4 here. Get this up and running. We just have our hatch gas and pool all coming through. We get set up for that for a moment or so. The probe obviously just nibbling around here to try and see a little bit of what is going on as well. Although the answer in general is not too much just yet. On a news camera, he's just AFK. A little peek over here as we get set up. My probe has obviously been gathering some good info early, so again, just continuing to try and find as much as possible with that, as we do have ourselves the Adept going to be Corona boosting along as well. Bringing that straight through for the moment. Stargate building, couple of probes in the Adept coming through also. Just keep that coming online for now, as the Warp Gate and still comes in. Link speed coming up. We need to get that going for the moment. A couple of links still gathering. Stargate will be finishing. The couple of probes need dead very much so. Continuing through 2, so we just get all of that on the go. Do we have ourselves? I mean, Solo's tried a couple of different things. I mean, the problem is one thing he's not really getting to is like a later game army. Obviously, he's tried a couple times into the... well, he tried into the swarm hosts and so on, but he's never really made it through to like properly like lurkers and so on yet. Well, the Oracle about halfway done, the warp gate very much so, finishing soon, and MaxPax will look to start applying some of that early game pressure all over again here. Let's look to bring that straight through into play. Next building, a couple of probes coming out. We just have ourselves the Lair and the drones building up. Lings and the Queen coming through. The Lings is going to be there to hit the Adept for a little bit, so a little bit of damage being done. Our Oracle needs to be careful, getting a little low. Don't want to go overboard with it, right? It's just a little bit of caution. Those early stages. Just for the most part, though, we still continue to set up and see where our game is taking us. We are obviously mostly eyes on MaxPax, I think, to see if he needs to do or wants to do anything particularly interesting or overly exciting. I mean, I don't think he needs to, right? It's clearly a series that's going very well for him anyway. He's got some room to work with now as well, so he's not really confined to just one kind of way of playing this or anything. He really can get a little bit adventurous with the setup if he would like to. Bringing the +1 continue to come up for the moment, just bringing that straight through. Lings are there to try and fend off those stalkers. Obviously, just these stalkers pre-blink. Already trying to get in to get a little bit of value, trying to find a little bit of something early on. Again, blinking +1 just gathers up for a couple moments, so just bringing all of that through. Stalk's gonna hit, a couple Crypt Tumors going down. And just continue to clean those Crypt Tumors out for a couple of moments here. So some work being done, putting some action in. Continue to settle. This is going to run up. The Adept is going to be there, and a few more Adepts going through as well. Let's see again, the Hydra's type before. The Ling's going to step through. It's going to be seeing those Stalkers coming back over as well. I see those Stalkers in the Oracle stepping up. A couple Hydras are going to be underneath too. It's more just going off the feelings, trying to get a wraparound. Solo coming across very powerfully right now. Before Storm hits, this obviously has a little bit of potential this timing window, so this could be the opportunity for Solo to maybe come swinging back into this a little bit. Maybe this is what he needs. Hit 3 high. I mean, he's going to get towards the Lurker then now as well. So I like it. He's going to put on some good pressure. He's going to get himself a cancel on the 4th base. And with the Lurker den on the way up, he's going to give himself an option in this stage of the game. which will continue through over the coming minutes. Again, Lurker Den building, Hive on the way. We got a few Lings and the Overlord coming about as well here currently. And Lurker Den coming up, the Hive very much so coming through still. Plus 2 missiles, Overlord speed, building as well. Just gonna have ourselves the Stalkers and High Templars all coming around. That Storm available, you're gonna be feeling a lot better. There's a couple Lings just there scouting, obviously checking on the bases and so on. And Hydra stepping back through, just gonna still have ourselves that rope facility coming up. Oh, the Ling is still going down. We do see more of that Ling Hydra getting chased about as well. Spine Crawler firing away, and a couple of those Zealots are going to end up dropping here. Well, again, those 4 additional Lurkers coming out right now. We've got Seismic Spines on the way. Rock Tower going to go down, which means that Solo can't go for the wraparound on this army as easily. It's actually very smart for MaxPax to knock that Watchtower down. Because like I say, now you have to go for a much larger move if you want to actually get a wrap on that army at all. So yeah, very powerful, very potent. All the Stalkers, Stargate, sorry, and that Fleet Beacon still coming up. We do have ourselves the Lurkers and the Lings continue to come around. Those 2 missiles coming by as well. So again, we just got to set up. The Stalkers blink in. They're going to get themselves a Lurker right there too. Nice little grab. Stalkers blink up, a couple Lurkers taking shots, so again, a few more hits continue to come through for the moment. Is this going to be good enough? Can these Lurkers hold on against this? MaxPax is not having as much momentum kind of built in his favor as he was maybe having in some of those earlier games. It's not perhaps a good sign. Gonna keep on fighting here though. Solar gonna be losing a good amount. He's obviously base trading on the other side as well. The Lurkers are gonna be over there. And that's gonna be a concern, as I don't know if MaxPax is gonna be able to keep breaking through this army either. I think this army might actually come to a stop fairly soon. It does have vision on the Lurkers at least, but there's so little left over. It's just the Lurkers on the other side are gonna do so much more. GG's, and Solar's gonna bring it back. Another game that goes from 0-3 to 3-1. So a little bit of a bounce back, a little bit of a return fire. Will it be enough to give us a series here over the next few moments, or is it still going to be a big struggle on the side of our Zerg, who definitely has not been looking too hot right there so far? And we will get this next game up in a moment as we just wait for the game to be hosted and Solar keeps us alive in the series. Reverse sweep Pog? Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, just nice to see some additional games in general, if nothing else. And map is going to be StarCraft. I forget how many of in this longer series, how many of these maps are actually kind of the newer, kind of different maps in the Rex event. But yeah, StarCraft going to be another of those. We'll get that going in a second here. Some Bark and Doggo action outside. Nothing like a bit of Bark and Doggo is there. Alright, we are just waiting for MaxPax to set his race correctly, and once that's done, we should be able to just go. Appreciate your patience with us, guys, and taking just a little bit of time to get going today. Into these games sometimes takes a moment or two. Alright, let's head in game, guys. Let's get this started off as we have ourselves in the top right-hand side. Our red Zerg player here is going to be Solar. He's taking on the blue Protoss in the bottom left-hand corner. We have got ourselves MaxPax. Well, another game of this series is all it does get us to go to one more map at least, so we take that. As I say, you gotta take what you're given here, and we're not having the easiest of times, that was for sure. Similar to Gateway, all coming up, so we again just get ourselves settled for a few moments. And hatching the extractor coming through, the drone continued about as well. You get settled here for the moment. Am I casting from replay? Nope, this is live. Live today. And we do have our hatch and our pool then coming up, so we get that settled in as well, so we get that started. Need to build into action here as the Overlord coming through as well. A little bit of getting going, just for the moment. How will we continue? Cybercore coming up. Of course, there's a Stargate from MaxPax, which is not too surprising just yet. Country's still setting up, trying to get that into position, and yeah, a lot of building up right now as we take a few moments. Oracle's still very much so on their way. Just gonna have these ling speed coming through, the drones and lings all coming through as well. The adept still trying to shade around. Get into position there, although not much going to come of it for now. Pretty reasonable and respectable still so far across the board, I would say, as we just have ourselves this Oracle popping. We'll get about halfway done currently. MaxPax looking to advance to the finals to play against Solar. Sorry, to play against Hero if he gets there. Yay. We're already playing against Solar. What are we looking at? My brain's just not here today, guys. I'm not gonna lie. My brain's a little bit, I'm saying a lot of silly things. My brain's just not fully switched on. Probably should have done a little, brain test before we started. I don't know. Just feel like I'm not thinking. I didn't sleep much last night. I didn't really think about it until I started casting, and when I started casting, my brain's just like, ooh. I'm gonna like say that something we were thinking of like 30 seconds ago, not the thing you're thinking of right now. Fortunately, that's not particularly useful for the most part. Believe it or not. A couple of the depths then just warping in as they get set up for now. So they're just gonna take position here for a moment or two, get into play, get ready to roll. Off we will be heading. Seeing a couple shots coming around, so a few more hits coming over for the moment. gather up. Just going to see the +1, the blink, very much so still on the way in here. So we get those upgrades going. MaxPax on his way as we expect him to be for the moment, as we just have the lair coming through, the additional links coming up, Overlord coming through as well. Depths Nest Dogs going to step up. Creep team are going down. The Queens are going to be fighting. Continue to go back the other way for a moment or two. Stalker still throwing some shots about here at the moment. It's just going to be seeing the Lings stepping forward as well. So again, just going straight through with these units. Again, just this pre-blink time, just putting Chaos into play. Forcing Solar to make sure he's already been making units and so on. Definitely a lot to think on there. Making sure you're already having a trade from such an early point of this. Like I say, just causing frustrations where possible. While the rest of the Lings continue to step up for the moment, coming through for now. At this current point in time. MaxPax has to get caught up, gets a few units, Lings caught up in that stasis wall, which feels important just to kind of give the Stalkers a little bit more breathing room and to allow them to keep on pushing forward as aggressively as possible right now. Little recall coming down as we actually have MaxPax going to have to come and respect the fact that we're attacking across the map here. So a few Lings getting through, well, shots coming in. We have our Storm on the way up as well. Charge still building. A Roach Ravager Ling very much so being brought up for the moment here as the extra Ravagers morphing in from Solar. So we're going to get a whole bunch of those on the way already. But the Stalker is going to be there. The few Lings taking some shots. The Ravager's backing away. Yo, totally not a pile. Thank you so much for the 42-month resub on the Prime. Thank you so much for having these great games. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. Really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. As we get ourselves a few Lings getting caught up in stasis wards. Just going to be seeing the Storms coming down, hitting a lot of those Ravagers as well. Storms then continue to come about for the moment. Solar got enough here to really kind of go for a push through. I mean, the Stalker numbers are definitely reducing, so it seems like we might actually genuinely have a way to push forward into this a little bit. I mean, some drones going down the other side, currently hold position with those to try and make something of it, but we actually have ourselves some creep here. Roach Ravager breaking toward the natural. I mean, reinforcements are going to pop out. Surely they are enough for a question mark, question mark? Not sure just yet. Looks as though it's warping in. The Lings coming through. The Storm coming down. That Roach Ravager still getting caught. Lings and the Roaches just continue to come through. The Stalker's taking hits. Do we have enough here from Soul? I just don't think so. I think MaxPax eventually has just been able to get enough reinforcements in, and the reinforcements don't arrive quickly enough from Solar here. And that's pretty much just going to seal the dealio. It's going to give us a PvP finals as MaxPax and Hero will end up there once again. MaxPax seems very solid in PvZ. I think it's just the amount of pressure he can apply with those Stalkers. He's very good defensively as well. It keeps him in some very good places and keeps him in very good. Just it doesn't let the game get away from him, where it does for a lot of other Pro players a lot of the time, which oftentimes turns out to be the big issue in the matchup. So we're going to say GG here. This one is decided. MaxPax is going to take it 4-1 and will advance through to play Hero in the finals today, guys. So we have our finals set. As mentioned, it will be the matchup between Hero and MaxPax, and that'll be another best of 7 coming up for us in a few minutes time. We'll just get some Not sure if Rex wants to take a little break, or if they're just going to give the players a moment and then we'll do the vetoes, or if we're just going to get straight to it. I'm not 100% certain just yet. Just while we take a couple of moments then, guys, obviously if you guys are enjoying the stream today, do consider supporting the channel by, if you're on YouTube, subscribing and liking. Goes a long way. You hit that like button, takes a second. Hit the sub button, takes a second as well. Obviously you can follow as well. MaxPax needs 5 minutes as well, by the way, so we will be waiting a little bit for him. So hit those buttons. Obviously, if you're watching on Twitch, you can follow the channel as well. Seemingly live with more StarCraft 2 in the future as well. And yeah, exciting weekend because we've got the WardiTV Spring Championship playoffs coming up tomorrow. So that should be a lot of fun as well. Expecting that to be pretty awesome, pretty fun. Playoff bracket for that is pretty stacked. The bottom portion of the bracket, especially tomorrow's games, especially are going to be really sick. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing how that turns out. As yeah, we'll get this finals on the way. MaxPax needs a few minutes, guys. I'm just going to throw us to a break screen for a couple. And I'll see you guys very soon for more SE2 after this. Videos are coming through, guys. Arrowhome, Amygdala, Sandworm, Starchild, and Frostline, the first 5 maps set for this incoming PvP series. So, I'll be back into this soon, obviously getting into our finals today already. Get this started off, get this underway. See how things will go. Alright guys, so we're just going to take a couple moments and we're going to be heading into this. So it looks like we've got the full videos done now, so we should be able to go into our finals here. Best of 7 PvP between MaxPax and Heroes. So kicking this off, getting this going. Get this ready to rumble. Oh! Alright, Arrowhome coming up. It's going to be Protoss versus Protoss here as we get this underway in our final match of the day already. Obviously, it's not quite been the epic day of StarCraft I think we were looking for so far. It's not been the craziest series, but hopefully this PvP lives up to some hype at least. Yo, thank you so much, King Zero Hack F. Probably said so much of that wrong, but thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate it, and thank you so much for priming us up. Thank you very much indeed, as we are readying to go into Arrowhome. Let's get this lined up. Let's get this all started. In the top right-hand side, our Blue Protoss player entering this finals after a 4-1 victory in the semis over Rogue. It is Hero. And with the 4-1 victory over Solar in the semis, we have MaxPax in the bottom left corner of the map. Gates and the probes continue coming around here as we get settled in. Going to see the chrono boost on the probes for the moment as we get that figured out and get this all started. See, PvP has a lot of interesting different ways in which it can develop, in which it can set up. Obviously, already seeing the low ground gateway from MaxPax, while Hero goes for the high ground double gateway in the early stages. So we get all of that up and rolling there to begin with. Nexus drops into the natural. Will they do Phoenix duels? It's very likely we'll see some Phoenix versus Phoenix throughout the series. I'd be very unlikely to see none of that coming through at all in the entirety of these two playing PvP, because these two do like to play expansions, right? And typically expansion versus expansion, to be safe, you open Stargate, then you've both opened Stargate, and the next step is to basically play Phoenix versus Phoenix. So definitely expect a bunch of Phoenix versus Phoenix in this matchup, to be honest. Don't think that should come as too much of a shocker to anybody. As we have ourselves a couple of probes, still just going to be moving around. Woody, what would it take for you to 1v1 me? I don't know. Why do you want to 1v1 me? It's a great question. Those Stalkers coming about, Stalker Sentry. Coming up, the Stargate on the way from MaxPax for the moment, so we get that on the go. The Adept here going to get caught in the middle of the map already as well, so a few shots coming over. Stalker's going to go hit the battery a little bit, so some damage already being done. We start off quite nicely with that. And we have the Voidra on the way from MaxPax, just making sure that he's going to be nice and safe here then for these next few moments. So we have that underway, and you get this rolling. Again, Oracle and the Stalker continue to come through. The Warp Gate coming up and online. The extra structures producing through as well here, so we continue to get that on the go for the moment. Dogs will shoot the Oracle, just going to get scooting back over there as well. Just going to go hide away for a couple of moments, trying to stay out of trouble. Let's just have a couple of extra weapons coming through. So it is going to be here at that forward gateway, looking to apply some pressure here perhaps. It's going to have that blink coming on as well. So again, we get that set up, we get that underway. A couple of gates still coming through. So I'm going to start fighting. Force field going down. You can see that battery already dropping. The Stalkers and the Sentries hitting the battery as well. A big push from Hero and absolutely starting to rock some boats as at the same time MaxPax is going to try and laser down a few more workers across the map with the aid of that Oracle. Massive stasis. Well, never mind lasers on them down. How about just trapping them? That's so much lost economy for the foreseeable future. The couple of Stalkers and the probes pulling back for a few moments as well. MaxPax obviously with 16 workers lost is actually just going to end up just on even worker count, which is kind of wild. And with this Void Ray coming through again, we are now going to have ourselves the ability to push those Stalkers away much more comfortably. So MaxPax is going to sort of hold on, and if you look at the game, it's obviously just 3 gates versus 3 gates and a Stargate, so you got to like where MaxPax is at, because he will have the continuation to harass here because he's got himself the Oracle and so on. So that definitely should be of aid and of use. Probes coming in, the Stalker coming around. Stalker will just nibble through that pylon. Void Ray showing up. The other Stalker's gathering in as well. Pylon goes down. Hero will lose power to a gateway. So one of his gateways goes down, so even more reason to like where MaxPax is at in this opening game at the moment. Stalkers in the Void step back through. Another hallucination sets up as well. Begin to move down towards the center. Again, the blink and the probes coming up. The pylon's on the way. This Void Ray heading through the middle as well. Force field there. We're going to try and just scare things a little teeny bit. So I'm just trying to be a little nuisance. The best of our abilities already. Eventually come blinking up. MaxPax having that blink available as well. Again, talk about a tech difference in this game. And that is exactly what you're kind of talking about, is the Stalkers will fight, the Void Ray will come through, hitting a lot. Does MaxPax have enough firepower? Obviously, it was fighting through a battery initially. Now some probes pull in from Hero to try and help defend and deflect this. Hero on his way to his own blink if he can get there, then brilliant. Definitely one of those things that he's aiming for at the moment, as we have ourselves another stasis just getting popped. Again, the beauty of having that Oracle keeps your opponent that little bit busier, something else they've got to keep an eye on and keep thinking about basically throughout this. So, you've got to keep your eyes on that as the Stalkers will step up once again. Forging the gateway coming through. Next is still coming online. The probes are coming up for the moment also. One probe in the corner. I'm going to go down as well. Just going to nab that. A third Nexus coming into play. Both probes going down. Nice stasis going to catch a few of those Stalkers. The rest is coming over and continue to chase. Stalkers continue to be hunted. And once again, MaxPax is getting value right here. The probes are going to have to pull in. MaxPax already has a third base, already on his way to charge again. The tech difference in this game is huge. Hero committed to an attack that just didn't do enough while taking damage himself. And that has set us up into this position right here. Which we are very nearly at the tail end of. Because I don't think Hero's going to hang on that much longer. He does chase here for a Stalker Killer 2, but once charges in, once 5 more gateways get added on, that will be absolutely massive. Rose is going to go down to the 6 o'clock, so they're going to get mining over there, at least trying to. Stalker's gathering. One Stalker in the center here, going to go down. So that's going to be a kill. The Oracle leading the charge for the moment. So under the stasis ward just coming down already. A couple of shots coming through. We go back the other way. So shooting a couple of Stalkers going the other way. Zeld's getting turned around as well. A couple of Zelds here going to take some extra hits, so a few shots coming around for the moment. It's coming across the board. It's going to be a little recall. Stalker's going to get up onto the natural. The other Zeld's going to come through, jumping onto some more of those Stalkers. More of these Stalkers jumping in. Stalkers blink up, just going to get a little wrap around. Zeld's going to get grabbed, so they are going to drop here as well, so they will fall. Another few Stalkers showing up too. Sneaking their way along. Again, the extra Zelds and the Immortal coming about. Zelds are going to charge up. Hero putting on a defense, but again, it's hard to imagine he really turns this around. I mean, he's down 30 workers. His army is up a little bit, but down an upgrade too. He just doesn't have what he needs to make this a reality, as that stasis is going to be massive as well. He sees it though, so still ends up being massive. He actually stopped to try and fight and then just slipped away from him in that moment. And that is going to be, I think, all they wrote for this game. Number 1 is MaxPax has DTs across the map as well, but Hero even more all in right about now. And as those Zealots continue to come through as well. GG's, says Hero. MaxPax is going to take game 1 of this best of 7. And this finals will start off with the Danish Protoss in the lead and challenging try and take home this this Rex tournament. Alright, let's have a little peek on our next map as we'll get that started up. I was gonna actually say. Can't remember. I had something else to say, but I forgot about it. Never mind then, I guess. Couldn't have been that important. Let's head into game 2. Bottom left, our red Protoss is going to be Hero. He's going to be down in games to try and bounce back. Put this up and running against his opponent, MaxPax, who has that 1-0 edge. Just really had a good defense at the start of that last game. Really set the tone for things. Probes and the pylons coming in then. And we just have ourselves moments of readying up here. See what we get out of a second game. Amygdala low ground obviously is whoa. Hero gonna go Nexus first. Well, that's definitely one way to open, isn't it? That is definitely a bit of a different opener to expectations, that's for sure. Well, things are going to take a little bit of an interesting turn for that regard. I guess we'll see what happens next. Everyone moving about and just get settled. Nexus first obviously is very interesting. It's a bit of a risky one, but if MaxPax likes to expand himself, then Hero's just going to end up with a slightly faster Nexus himself. Will not be too far behind tech-wise or anything either. So should start to look pretty respectable there in general. Cybercore and the Nexus both going through. We got ourselves the probe coming about. We're going to move in toward the natural for a few moments as well. Again, Stargate is building. The Nexus coming through. A depth still added on. Gateway and the Cybercore coming up. A couple of the probes continuing in as well. And Stargate will be finishing. The Warp Gate's still coming online. The probe chasing another probe about. Stalker going to get there to kill that probe off as well. It's just going to knock that away for the moment. Just have a couple of shots going about. Those probes taking damage. Obviously, the Adept getting in there. Nice for MaxPax, who was a little bit later on the Nexus, obviously, to get in and get a couple of kills. Stalkers go patrolling. Stargate coming about. Still got the Warp Gate coming through too, so we continue to get that underway. Just going to be seeing the Stalker going to try and fight those Adepts off for a little bit. So a bit more pressure coming through, a bit more damage going out for the moment. Three Stalkers. I'll go back onto the Adept. Fourth probe going down. Again, Phoenix coming about. The Stalkers coming up. So we are going to have Hero with those Phoenix, and we'll absolutely be imagining that he wants to try and make the most of those Phoenix in these near moments. So we'll see how this goes as we just have ourselves the Oracle getting turned away. Hero again losing workers, and MaxPax so far, I mean, he's going to be down a lot of army, but he's definitely taking the worker advantage so far. No doubt about that at the moment. I'm gonna Stalkers and the Phoenix just gathering with all those probes going down them, and Hero's got to not love that. As MaxPax sets up a panel on the bottom side, some counter pressure available for him as well. Opportunity in that regard. Coming up in about halfway done. So keep that going for the moment. The couple of Phoenix here are going to find the Oracle at least. The Hero will get rid of this, or will he? Stalkers start to hit the Phoenix. They're going to change position. They get to the battery. Oh my goodness. Oracle will stay alive for the moment, so gets to keep that up and running for now. Will the Boomer Bash Finals be this weekend? Yes, the Boomer Bash Finals will happen tomorrow after our first day of the WardiTV Spring Championship. So we're going to have WardiTV Spring Championship, 5 best of 5s into the best of 7 Boomer Bash Finals. That is how tomorrow will go. Should be a lot of fun. That Blink very much so building through. The Stalker's going to hit the Nexus. The Stay Sword coming down. It's just 3 see how Stalker's getting lifted. One Phoenix will fall. It's not nice losing your Phoenix, right? It's always going to be a little bit of a pain point. Invest in those units. You want to keep them alive. See, the Immortal obviously is a big defensive point as well here. He was kind of getting back into this much better than I thought, because it really felt like he was going to be in a pretty miserable spot the way that everything was starting out at first. But yeah, I would say that this game's definitely improved to a much better position than I expected it to be in for our Korean Protoss, who is still in trouble though. It's just he was looking like he had more than he had needed. Then he lost the Immortal, and all of a sudden he showed just how weak that army truly is. The new Immortal showing up is huge. We're going to pop the barrier on it though, and that maybe gives you the opportunity to dive into that in a little bit. That might be a possibility as well here very soon, as we just have the Stalkers still pushing back the other direction. We will have ourselves a few more Stalkers going down. The Stalker dropping, the Immortal taking hits. Jumping through right away there. We do have MaxPax, I think, just getting through with this. Another Stalker going down, another one falling. A blink forward, going to find another. GG's, MaxPax going to find himself a 2-0 lead over Hero. Going to be loving that position for himself as, yeah, this finals is definitely swinging MaxPax's way thus far. Good in the PvP for the moment. Alright then, game number 3 on the horizon. Please, Hero, fight back. We've seen so many one-sided series today. I'd be really ashamed to see this one end up being one-sided as well. So we host a Sandworm for the 3rd map, so we'll get that underway in a second. Ready, GLHF. Ready, GLHF is called. Let's start counting down. That was an interesting one because, again, you've got no ramp on that natural, so that should keep this fairly interesting here. We have ourselves in the top right-hand side. Down 0-2, looking to bring it back. It is going to be Hero. Our red Protoss player. In the bottom left, blue Protoss is going to be MaxPax. get this underway. Get this started up. 2-0 lead from MaxPax, looking to capitalize further. Can he take this to a 3-0 lead? The day's been full of 3-0 leads into 3-1 and then 4-1 victories. Fate and the assimilators both coming through. Single gas from Hero, double gas from MaxPax, notable right now already. So that's a little bit interesting. Nibble. I can see Cybercore's coming up. The Zealots on the way. As we have ourselves... Well, you got to build those Zealots because if you want to expand, you're going to need to be able to break down any blockade to stop you expanding, right? So a pylon or so. That's what the Zealot will provide for you here, typically. And probe chasing, nibbling at that other probe as well, just getting on its heels for a little bit right now as we try and find a little bit more value still. Stargate coming through the sentry there to push the probe back the other direction. Just for a moment or two. Comes about with the destination as well. It's just going to come straight through for this. He gets their force field down, stop these units from leaving, and can we actually get a kill on both of them? Find out in a moment or so here as we just have ourselves the little bit of a push forward. That adept just about shitting away for now, so just about escaping at the moment. And Phoenix coming in on both sides currently. We'll move about again, the Phoenix coming over. Just get that settled for now. Seeing the State Sword going to come down on part of that mineral line, and we'll try and catch a whole bunch of those probes, so pretty reasonable there. And we continue through with this for the moment. See where we're going to go. Phoenix still building out another Stargate on the way. The pylon's coming up. Pull drops down a Revelation, hits the sentry. Phoenix is coming about. A couple more shots coming through. Still hits coming around as well. I mean, this is obviously pretty brutal if you lose your Phoenix, right? You lost 2 as hero. Those Phoenix and MaxPax are low. If you keep them alive, even just for a couple of seconds, there's a lot you can gain from that. Go back and forth, 2 pros going down. The Phoenix is going to dive in. MaxPax believes he can capitalize on this moment. This is hero going to be getting into a very close position. Very nearly what we needed. More Phoenix building. So MaxPax goes into that second Stargate. Hero tried something similar against Zaun the other day, and it was very effective, right? Where you basically just go for like a gateway kind of Phoenix shove. a few gateway units and then shoving with the Phoenix and trying to capitalize. But now you're down a Stargate, so that's going to make this very difficult to continue to recover from. Definitely leaves in a bit of a weird spot as a few Phoenix continue to move around as well. It's building up. Twilight Count's on the way. Here we're looking for a transition out of this. I mean, Phoenix Town right now 7-4. Like I say, MaxPax will continue to have the Phoenix control. Hero will still build Phoenix, but he's not really going to be that scary with them in the slightest, all things considered right now. He's not going to have anywhere near as much as he would usually want to in that scenario. Just going to dive through here. MaxPax actually getting a jump on some of Hero's Phoenix. I mean, this is exactly what I mean. You just have so many more Phoenix. The question is now, can these Phoenix capitalize? Can they make this game get out of control? MaxPax is going to realize, I can probably get pros, but I'm not going to be able to stop the Stalker count from growing, so he's going to drop the Robo Facility down instead. Get that underway now as a little bit of a different approach to this for the moment. Blink finishing shortly. Stalkers in the Sentry gathering up as well. Little Corona Boost now, just going to get underneath the Phoenix on the moment. Oh, there's a lot of Stalkers from Hero. I mean, in his defense, right? I mean, to be honest, I didn't think he was going to get away with this transition. He might still not, right? 2 cannons, the Immortal on the way up. The benefit is he's going to get a third base up, and you can't really take a third right now as MaxPax. Phoenix still on the way. The +1 air weapons coming through. The charge building, probes coming out. Pylon has already taken some chip shots as the Phoenix will gather up the Void Ray as well. We get rid of a cannon there. The Immortal going to turn around the other direction. It's another 5-6 Stalkers just getting warped in right now. Hero going to get around the bottom. We'll have ourselves the charge, and the probes and the Forge continue to come through. A lot more of those probes continue to go down, so 9-10 workers dropping at the moment. Just going to see the Stalkers and the Sentry coming into the front. A lot of probes going down. I mean, that's MaxPax's benefit. You can always do this, but you've got to be able to defend against this Stalker count. Now, of course, with 3 Immortals, it's starting to look good. The main thing is, though, you need some of these Phoenix lifts to get the Stalker count to not be completely overwhelming. Otherwise, the Immortals just get shot down way too quickly. So you've got to be very careful on that, as you do have attempt to break through. But like I say, MaxPax is also down a base, so he's got to essentially get up to one very strong army, push, and probably win the game. I mean, he's going to try and expand now. Not sure if that's going to be something you can get away with here. To me, that expansion feels quite late, but I mean, it is late, obviously, in comparison to his opponents. I guess the question really is it something we can really kind of, is the kind of lateness we can recover from or not? Facility still stepping up. The Immortal and a couple of Voids coming through. Cannon on the way. Nexus coming around. So we're just going to get underneath, and a bunch of those Phoenix getting pushed the other way once again. So just going to see those going back out. Void Ray popping. battery and a couple cannons coming through too. Continue to keep this going right now. Stalker Archon Cell coming through. Just going to drop the Nexus down as well. Going to get that straight into play. Big fight, obviously, with those Archons coming in as well. So you see some tech available on the other side, which is neat. Obviously, having those Archons, they will splash those Phoenix down. I think Heroes just got the better army here in the end. The Void Rays and Immortals are going to try and do their thing. Can they power up? But the Archon count getting a little bit lower. The Phoenix will get a bit more involved now, lifting up all these Stalkers. MaxPax is actually going to start turning this around because the tech units held on in there. And those tech units are absolutely going to, again, with the Phoenix being able to kind of come into play as well, we are going to see this completely shifting focus. And MaxPax is going to mostly clean up. There's that one Archon that isn't even going to be a problem, right? Because we're going to have our... Sorry, there's two Archons. There's still another one here. You can't lift Archons, but obviously the Void Rays and the Immortals can just shoot it down. That one's fairly low shields anyway. MaxPax loses 17 workers, but he comes out with a 40 army supply lead, so his army advantage is absolutely huge at the moment. This is a big deal as we settle ourselves into... I mean, Hero trying to take this gold base, but I mean, MaxPax, does he go? Does he pull the trigger? I think he's going to go and try and kill a bunch of probes with these Phoenix and try and offset the worker difference a bit. Or undo the offset worker difference a little bit right now. Phoenix lifting, a few more of those probes going down still. Two voids, the few probes, and the cannon all coming up as well here. That gun's going to be there. Phoenix getting shot at. See, MaxPax with less economy. But more army. I mean, the longer we go, though, I mean, I guess my question is, over time, does Hero's army just get better? I think so. 6 Archons now feels a lot scarier than what we had before, so that really does feel pretty huge. It's going to recall back over to the rest of this here, so we just gather everything together. A couple Stalkers are going to finish. Nexus on the way. And again, our fleet beacon starting up as well on the side of MaxPax, so we just bring that straight in for the moment. Yeah, Phoenix still moving around for a couple of moments. We continue to get settled in. Just going to be seeing the Stalkers, the Archons continue to push up. Stalker's going to blink forward. Stasis Ward goes off. Feel like it landed on much. There's a Stasis just to the side there. That's also not landing on much right now. Now it gets 2 Archons. It's going to be a big part of pushing this back if those Void Rays get the bravery to step through. And those Void Rays do not feel like they're meant to live if those Archons get to touch them, right? All of those units stacked up does not feel great. Oracle goes down as Hero gets another grab. MaxPax continues to try and just push this back. Void Rays going to get rid of a couple of these units. Again, the Stalkers are going to melt as the Void Rays get to them. And in that regard, MaxPax's army is absolutely doing what it needs to. But can we continue to do what we need to do? And the supply 146 to 146, so 150 each. Hero still has just way more economy, but is obviously really struggling when it comes to the army quality and also army size, so there's definitely a little bit of a interesting moment here. have ourselves the couple of Archons going to fire, the Stalker's going to shoot. I'm just going to be seeing this trade out continuing. His hero will come around. The Void Rays are going to get pushed back through the bottom side. And +3 attack coming up from hero right now as well. The Observer and the Nexus continue to come about. The Stalkers continue coming through, really trying to break on into this, just not really going very far. The Mothership out helping as well, funnily enough. We are going to be able to break this back over. What an incredible kind of set of fights. The Void Ray count is being completely annihilated here. I mean, now the army supplies are actually going to be even. Hero has taken the entire map as well, and I think he is eventually just going to break MaxPax down. It's starting to feel that way. Definitely starting to feel that way. Stalker's still gathering about. Just going to be having a couple more shots coming through here and there for the moment. Stalker's going to continue to just come in with the Concave, and that is going to be Hero looking for the final fight now as we come straight over. We are going to see the Void Rays continue to smash, bang, and wallop. I really just feel like this is just going to be Hero's game. I mean, he's just got the entire map taken as well. Absolutely ridiculous stuff. It's just an absolutely fascinating game in general, I think it's fair to say too. It's really not quite your normal game of StarCraft 2, to say the least. So, yeah, definitely a bit of an interesting one. SGG gets gold. And that will be that. Hero is going to get a point on the board, which, like I said, I think we're very happy to see. For the moment. Alright, so game 3 goes the way of Hero. And we're not going to get this to be as one-sided as it was being previously. We're going to go to StarCraft here for our next game. Going to get this set up. What a crazy game. Finally, a really good game in the mix today. It's been taking a little while for us to get there. Finally getting there now. Nice. Alright, so I'm going to get going in a moment as already GLHF gets cold. Let's go to Starchild as, like I say, Hero fighting back, pulling back through. And we get ourselves kicked off and into play here in a couple of moments. Alright, let's jump in. As in the top right, our red Protoss player is Hero. And the bottom left is MaxPax as we get into game number 4 here. We get this set up. What a wild game. All right. So, I kind of getting over the last one. I mean, again, just such a weird situation to kind of set us up there. And here we go now with this one as we have Max in the bottom left. We get that underway. We get this all started. Nibble as our probes chase each other around. Nothing too surprising just yet. To take a moment or so. Missile coming over. Probe just going to get chased. We have ourselves the Stargate continue to come up as well. Obviously, these probes chase around and get ourselves settled. We just have ourselves a couple of moments then of Nexus versus Nexus, and obviously Stargate versus Stargate, so we get ourselves set up into this, we get this underway. Just gonna see our Adept and the Zell continue to chase, the other Adept getting pushed back for a little while, so again we get pushed over there, a couple of Phoenix coming through. Get that kill. Nice starting point. Alright, so as the Phoenix come online and this Phoenix versus Phoenix begins, let's see what happens. Let's get the Phoenix to get rid of the Adept already. Just one less thing that can kind of sit around on the map and cause some chaos at this point already. Obviously, if that gets to sit around and cause chaos, it's just a little annoying, something you have to deal with. It's sometimes very difficult to lift the Adept up as well, because if you lift the Adept and shoot at the Adept, that's a moment in which the opponent's Phoenix can absolutely come and kind of power through and kind of get the first shot off, and that sort of stuff makes a difference a lot of the time in these circumstances as well, in these sort of scenarios. So it's the kind of thing you definitely want to be watching for. Caution advised. Look at that, Fleet Beacon coming in quickly from Hero. What I do love about Hero's Phoenix versus Phoenix plays, it does feel like he's hit such a variety of kind of timings on the Fleet Beacon over the past month or two. Like, he's sometimes gone for no Fleet Beacon. You know, like, he's sometimes gone for no Fleet Beacon, he's sometimes gone for the late Fleet Beacon, the early Fleet Beacon. It mixes it up, and it means that each individual Phoenix versus Phoenix game seems to have a little bit of an edge to it, and a little bit of a difference kind of how the players are going to have to approach it. Obviously, he keeps MaxPax on edge a little bit as well, because it means that not every time he's thinking of from the previous games of Phoenix versus Phoenix, which is many, is always going to be the same. It's all gathering there. That probe's going to get lifted. It's going to be seeing a couple shots coming through. Again, the Phoenix coming about. The Phoenix range coming online as well. So continue to bring that over just for the moment. This Phoenix still gathering. What's the Phoenix down out? 14 to 10. So MaxPax has a couple more. But he's not going to have range, and so Hero, okay, gets one, gets two Phoenix with the range, and then MaxPax takes the turn into this, which means that's probably not going to go that well for Hero in the end. That is the danger of trying to utilize the range to your advantage, because it just doesn't matter if you don't stay out of reach. And that's where the range advantage is oftentimes a lie. And I was, you know what it is as well? He got two Phoenix, and I was literally about to be like, oh my god! Of course, one of the first times you truly see the Phoenix range being used in such a way it gives you a significant advantage in the trades. Because so often, you know, the opponent just turns into you and they close the gap, and then it doesn't matter. And then that happened, because that's kind of how it always is. Like, this felt like such a scripted moment. It was like, in my head, I was so ready to go down that line, and then boom, MaxPax closed the gap, and it doesn't matter because he's got more Phoenix, and so he just wins. He's still two Phoenix ahead, comfortably able to take that advantage. Alright, waiting for our next game to get hosted up here. So to get this started, and we will be heading into Frostline for our next game. And get this ready to go. Ready, GLHF, and get set up, and get ready to head into this next game. So we'll kick this off, we'll get this going, and yeah. Perfect. Alright, GLHFs are called. Let's get this going, guys. One more for 4-1. It might be. MaxPax is on his way there right now. Let's get this started. MaxPax return. Hockey win his first Monday in a long time as well. Oof. The return of MaxPax. The bounce back. The slump ends. On the frost line. Loading the screen. About a heading game for game number 5 here. As down with needing 3 in a row. It is going to be Hero in the bottom left. In the top right, our blue Protoss is MaxPax. You guys think MaxPax wins it on this one, or do you think Hero fights back? Let me know in the chat. I'd love to hear from you guys as we go into what could be our final map of this Rex April Madness tournament. Again, shout out to Rex for running a tournament. He says he's not going to run one next month because there's just too much other StarCraft going on already. But yeah, I appreciate him running this. It's obviously been very fun to see, and it's been very fun to watch. There's been some great games over the last couple of weeks, so shout out to Rex for giving us some fun StarCraft too. Like I say, it's always nice for me having some stuff to cast that isn't just a Wardy event, being able to go live without having to pay for the tournament prize pool and so on. Always feels good. We settle ourselves in on this game at number 4. It's best of 7, not best of 5. Had that incorrect. Yes, guys, if it's best of 5, it's already 3-1. It's more likely I probably misclicked than that we've just changed the laws of how best ofs work. Yeah, just slightly likely, you know, just slightly likely. Exit drops down to the natural. Again, just as you see the high before coming up, we get settled here. Pros is nibbling pros for a few moments as we have a Stargate coming in. So Phoenix versus Phoenix again, very likely right now. Let's just have ourselves Most targets going through. Who will find themselves the advantage there? Nexus building. So much faster from MaxPax that Nexus. Obviously the Oracle coming out initially from Hero. His Stargate's just done a little sooner, so that's going to be the difference between them for the moment, it seems. Oracle about to finish up, the Warp Gate coming through. We just have ourselves again, the Phoenix still coming about. Add those extra probes on in there as well. Bring all of that online for now. Couple of Adepts gonna shoot, the Adept gets chased the other way. Nexus still about to finish here momentarily. Just having ourselves the probe going down that mineral line as this Adept is gonna go down as well. This Hero will lose out on that. I expect a couple of workers ahead. He's actually gonna be losing a couple there in the end though. So it's very minor differences, but yeah, 31 to 27. There is that edge there from MaxPax for sure as the Oracle shows up, but that would only be a stasis ward because obviously, as you can see, it is going to be a battery in position that is not going to let much happen. That's a recall attempt. Doesn't work, and Hero loses his Oracle, so that early investment is going to go nowhere. Down to Phoenix in general right now because of that Oracle build, and MaxPax immediately after killing the Oracle is just like, cool, I'm actually going to send the Phoenix across the map and try to capitalize on the fact that I've cleaned that Oracle out. So he's going to try and come across the other side and see what he can do as the Phoenix lift. The Adept taking a couple of shots. MaxPax already looking very good here as he wins the Phoenix War. He's going to get a lift on the Stalker. The Adepts just get to go through a bunch of probes. He'll even micro that to make it a little bit prettier towards the end as well. He's going to get that Stalker, as we mentioned, and if he just has the Phoenix Edge now, 4-1, this might just very well be game, set, match. Because game, set, match, and tournament. Why not throw that one in there? Because it definitely feels as though at this point you're going to be in trouble. Any Phoenix that builds, I mean, the only benefit is there's a battery there that can heal you up, but you're losing even more probes. You're down a lot. At this point, MaxPax even has a Robo on. He sees that he doesn't need to necessarily go into too much more kind of production in the sense of let's kind of, how do you say it? He doesn't need to get into a double second Stargate because he can see his opponent doesn't have one. He knows he's got the Phoenix Edge anyway. So by just going into the Robo already, he's going to be able to solidify himself into a very comfortable spot and keep himself in a very happy place here in this game 5 of the series. The Public Guardian Shield to do what we can. I mean, at this point, Hero's given up on Phoenix production, but those Phoenix will just linger overhead and continue to get kills throughout. Who beat Clem? Clem lost to Rogue yesterday. Clem lost to Rogue yesterday in the quarterfinals. Didn't even make the top 4. As this Phoenix fight will go again the way of MaxPax. 11 probes dead on the tab right now. Hero's going to come across, and I presume is just going to try and make something happen with this larger ground army. Couple Stalkers still warping in. 4 Stalkers at once. As Hero's just going to try and send it. I mean, that's why the Immortal and the Robo was a great choice from MaxPax because it just sets you up for safety again. I think it was a very well-made choice because I think he knew right away that he could do it and get away with it. And it's this exact sort of thing that's going to try and keep you safe now. However, good force field keeps the Immortal away from the battery for a few moments. Lets it get into kill range. The Phoenix taking a little while to show back up. I think MaxPax is still going to be okay, but that was obviously just not exactly how you wanted it to go. You'd hope it was going to be a little bit smoother than that. This is what it is. Let's see how Stalkers continue to fight here as MaxPax is very happy pushing forward and pressing now. He's got another Immortal showing up. The numbers just are not there for Hero. Stalkers pulling back. GG gets called. MaxPax is going to take this one down, and he is going to take this big win for himself. 4-1, and a bit of confidence from MaxPax last few days. Wins a Monday, apparently, and now he wins himself the Rex April Madness event. GG's. Jeez. Alrighty. Cool. Anything else to say? Do you add on the day? It was an interesting day. It was definitely a very interesting day, to say the least. It was not quite all the games that you really wanted it to be. Like I say, it was a little bit sad at points. I'm going to go ahead and say that in the end. The PvP, I mean, honestly, that game, that Hero one, was probably the game of the day for me. Very fun, very entertaining. Kind of a little bit weird and wacky, and I actually think it was just the best game all around. Everything else was... It just wasn't the best day of StarCraft 2. I say this... I've said this a little bit lately, which is just... Sometimes it's just okay to admit that, you know, a certain day was not the best day of, you know, in the world. That's all good. Thanks to Rex again for having us and allowing us to cast his tournament, and for running the tournament for us to cover as well. Love that, and again, really appreciate it. Do I have anything else to really add? Not really. Obviously, if you have enjoyed the day, do consider liking and subscribing on the YouTube, follow on the Twitch chat. If you want to support further, you guys know how to. Again, we're going to have a fun announcement tomorrow, because it's going to be the WardiTV 2025 series announcement with some more information for you guys and so on, so you guys can check that out. So that should be a lot of fun as well. We'll be announcing that on stream tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to be doing the WardiTV. Let's show you guys what we're doing tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to be doing the WardiTV Spring Championship playoffs. Day 1. And then we're going to do the Boomer Bash finals. So what we're probably going to do is we're going to be doing Zan versus Classic, Hero versus Clem, Solo versus MaxPax, Winners Match, Losers Match. Then we'll do our little announcement of the WardiTV 2025 series. And then we will do the Boomer Bash finals. So that's going to be tomorrow's schedule. And then over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we'll have the rest of this bracket as we crown ourselves a 2025 Spring Champion for WardiTV. So make sure you tune in across the weekend. Same starting time as today. Hopefully some longer matches. Because like I say, today was really a little bit of a unfortunate one. It's just especially sad because I felt like the round of 8 was this event was also a similar thing as well. It just wasn't, like I say, it's not always the craziest. It's not always the you don't always get the best. It's just unfortunate it kind of line up like that. Anyways, I don't think I've got anything else to really add, guys. Any final info? Any words of wisdom? Anything in particular I want to bring to the attention of the people? I really don't think I do. I think it's just a day to call it a bit early. So thank you so much. You guys have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow and across the weekend for the WardiTV Spring Championship. You guys have a great one until then, and I will see you guys later. Prime sellout. There's no way anyone has a Prime left to use right now at the end of the stream. I don't believe it. You want me to do a Prime sellout? Okay. Drum roll, please. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have a Prime sub? If so, you can use it on the channel. Let's see if it works. I'll give it 15 seconds to see if the Prime sub works. Prime time for a sellout, yeah. Nope. Nope. Oh! Ploval with the Prime sub. It worked, guys. Okay, you guys were right. Alright. You know what? You were right. There are things to do. Alright, guys. I'm feeling the $100 donation. No. Okay. Thank you so much, Ploval. You got us. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Alright, guys. Set of ads on the outro. Watch the ads. It supports a little bit. And I'll see you guys when we come back tomorrow for the Spring Championship Playoffs. Day number 1. I'll see you there. You guys have a great rest of your day.